For the 25 days leading up to Christmas, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a foster dog story. Today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my very own foster fails, originally called PJ, now called Rorschach. Rory's case was a bit of an urgent situation and he had to be pulled from the shelter before it closed that day. I was unable to make it as the shelter was too far away, and luckily my dad was close enough and I begged him and he went and picked him up. We tried to pull the Dalmatian that he came in with, but unfortunately we were too late. I did not have any intentions to actually adopt Rory because if you know Dalmatians, they tend to be a little bit on the aggressive side with other animals or sometimes people. But Rory proved otherwise. He actually has an amazing temperament and he quickly stole my heart. He also told me that he wanted to be a sport dog. He quickly fell in love with dock diving and he even hunts with us, and you may recognize him from our Competition Heel series. A few months into adopting Rory, he started to develop what looked like a rash on his back. The vet I was working with at the time told me that it was allergies. Allergy tested him, put him on Apoquil, Cytopoint, medicated baths and special food. He just did not seem to get better until one day he totally lost function of his jaw and he couldn't eat. I had who I thought was a trusted friend take him in for medical care, and they put him on prednisone, but he didn't seem to be getting much better. They quickly upped his dose of prednisone and he started having horrible diarrhea. They tried to tell me that he had a blockage and needed immediate emergency surgery, but in my gut, I really knew that there was something else wrong with him. We did 4 x-rays and his x-rays showed absolutely nothing in his throat or his stomach. And I denied the emergency surgery and I lost some friendships over this. People told me that I wasn't taking care of my dog, and they even tried to tell me that I needed to surrender him to the rescue so that he could get the emergency surgery done. I had a different friend who I trusted go and pick him up, and she immediately got him to a different vet. That vet informed me that he was on a near lethal dose of prednisone, and because of his jaw, he couldn't drink on his own, and the amount of fluids they were giving him, they were dehydrating him to death. The most frustrating part to me is Rory was given a fecal at the original vet, and he came back positive for tapeworm and roundworm, and they dewormed him with 5 milliliters of pyrantel, which isn't even enough to deworm a dog of his size, but it's also the incorrect dewormer. On top of that, they immediately knew what was wrong with him and diagnosed him with just a case of tapeworms that causes muscle loss, weight loss, and loss of function in the jaw. Within days of warmer for this specific type of tapeworm, Rory was eating and almost totally back to normal after months. And within a few weeks, the red that I'd been dealing with all summer was completely gone from his back. Now that Rory is healed up and back to normal, he is one bad dude. You can see him performing at places like the Minnesota State Fair or the Wisconsin State Fair. Or when it's warm enough, you can catch him picking up birds for us when we go hunting. And we are so happy to have you.